Thanks everybody for coming again, 13th year. That is awesome. Great to see everyone. I'm just going to talk a little bit. Our staff is here. A lot of you know them. You know myself. If you don't, Ron Barga, like you said, part owner of Premier Crop Insurance, now 13 years. Been with Greenville National Bank the same amount of time. And prior to that was Rabobank and Farm Credit. Some of our staff today, here is my brother Derek, runs our specialty insurance group. Lydia Sink is with us, agent processor, Nicole Newport. Aaron Brooks is somewhere right there. Aaron Corse, sorry, that's her maiden name from years ago. And Chuck Cook is here with us too. We do have agents all throughout the Midwest, and I just remind that because it brings a vast knowledge to our team. One of the things that's on your table tonight, and dig them out a little bit, I want to make sure you take this stuff home, is one of the key things we talk about as an agency is how your cash flow lines up with your crop insurance guarantees, okay? And that is never more important in times when we're seeing extremely high rise in input costs, okay? Prices are pretty good, but it's going to be tight if you not start doing the math. 23 looks pretty good yet, but you know where we're headed for 24 and 25. If you're not concerned, I'm afraid to tell you should be concerned. If you're not starting to get and do that math and sit down with somebody, whether that's your banker or someone like myself, who I have a lot of customers in this room that I do these spreadsheets right here on the table for you, or with you, is as we go through the numbers, figure out where's your cost per acre breaking down at. And I'm telling you, everyone in here is different. What you're looking at the table is an outlook just recently from Ohio State and Purdue, and I looked at both and tweaked them a little bit to what I know Ohio farmers would be looking at. So it's not exactly theirs, nor it's a little bit of my information, plus Purdue and Ohio State. And if you look on there, corn's going to top $1,000 an acre, just put an acre corn out. Okay? Beans are going to be over $760. Okay? Then you got to start figuring out, the next sheet talks about what type of crop insurance guarantees. In today's price market, we're seeing about corn around on the futures $610, $620. Okay? That's putting you at 85% policy, right? That's, get over the fact you're not buying at least 85 or something beyond that, 90, 95, which a lot in this room know that's available through our agency. You know, you must have a lot of money to play with, and that's great. All right, that's all I'll say. That's the only reason you shouldn't be looking at something like that, because at least it'll guarantee you $985, which is getting closer to that $1,000, right? It's only $15 off of getting you where you at least can lock in a break-even point. We're not going to lose money in 2023. So, why is that important, right? Who in here raised 300 bushel corn? Anybody? Right?
2 acres.
That's impressive. Nobody. How about this? You know, who makes the most money, you think? The 300 bushel acre guy or the 180? Tell me, who makes more money? Who do you think? Who really makes more money? 180. Yep. I got clients in Ohio that their APH, you guys would laugh at it, but their net return blows everybody away because they know that ground sucks and they don't put all that crap in it that you have to, right? I'm saying, I mean, it works for some ground. I get that. Push that. But I'm telling you, that is not what actually is going to make you profitable. Okay? Your net income is going to make you profitable. Right? What you gross minus what you spent, what's left in between is going to do the job. My job and our agent's job is to protect those dollars in between there. Right? That's how we look at it. If you don't work with us today, if you do and you haven't heard my spiel and sat down and done these spreadsheets, shame on you, because I'm available. Just call me. You know, everybody, oh, I know you're busy. I'll make time. Okay? There's plenty in this room. I've done that for you. You already know that. You know, we just did a couple of sheets for a couple people looking at a possible new cash rent opportunity. You know, we can run those numbers and see if it worth your time and investment to go after that ground. Another thing that was asked about was precision farming to help at a claim time to go a little faster. And yes, we offer that and have that. And a lot of us in this room do work with Farmers Mutual Hail. CRS is our other big one. Both of them are helping sponsor a little bit tonight. If you're interested in that, there's a brochure on the back, and it does make claim time a lot faster. We no longer will utilize, if you go this route, FSA maps. Okay? we'll utilize your maps, but that means your hired hand or yourself, whoever's running it, it's got to be fairly accurate, turning it on and off that computer, and naming that farm correctly when you go from field to field. So, but I want to push that a little bit more because it's getting a little bit more attention, that people kind of want to go that way. And once you start this spring that way, you can finish at harvest straight off your yield data, and there is no bin measurement. Okay? So, wanted to bring that up. Now, enough of me being up here boring about numbers. Let me touch on a couple of things. There's a couple of questions brought up by, I talked to a lot of people, and Dr. Cole I talked to a lot yet, and the real estate market. If you think everything's going to keep going up, up, and up, you live in a dream world. Right? How many times has Dr. Cole stood on this stage and told us that farming is a 7-year cycle? Okay? Do you know what year we are in that cycle? Last time he was here.
6.
Yep, exactly. Year 6. If you don't think farmland can fall, and I get we live in God's country with all types of chickens that produce ungodly amount of money for their northern neighbors, and they might be here tonight, sorry to pick on you, that buy all types of ground. But the truth is 1031 money is pushing this market, and that's and in interest rates in this situation. And those two factors are going to play a negative side in the demand in the next 6 months. Dr. Cole, I asked him about this and he completely agrees that by the end of 2023, we're going to see some pockets. What happened, I can't even talk about Mercer County. I don't even fathom, 25,000 acre farm grant. Eventually revenue, earnings have to pay for something, right? It's just fact, it has to, okay? Unless you have 10 million sitting in the side, great, then not a big deal. But you know what's also going to affect that 10 million? Is the fact that I know banks are going to start paying better than 0%. I know that they're going to start paying 3.5 on savings. You know why I know that? Because I was already told that and have that opportunity by banks across the Midwest that savings, you guys know it as well, are starting to pay more. Well, what's less risky? Buying that 15,000 acre ground, hoping the farmer can pay that 3.5% net return, or putting it back in the bank and getting 3.5. That's going to start affecting it as well, because rates are starting to go up on savings accounts and CDs. So, if you think you got to own it because it's next door and you got to pay 15,000, 16,000, be my guest. But I'm telling you, there's a day coming where you're gonna have an opportunity to pay less. It's coming. It always happens, right?
Happened in 1980.
Exactly, Bob. I was at a farm auction in 2000 and, 2014 maybe, and 3 years prior to that, a farm went for, this isn't even around here, this is in Ohio, it went for $12,000. 3 years later, a farm right down the road went for $6,200. Okay? I know in Dark County, a farm sold in 2012, 2013 for the high teens per acre, right? When we hear that time all the time, and then 2 years later, the farm right down the road from me went for $8,250. Okay? This is the way of the world. We always have ebbs and flows. To think that ain't going to change is crazy. History repeats itself constantly. Okay? The other factor is be careful of how much we think this market on the grain side is on a constant, there's a day coming where it goes the other way. And so we've got to really watch what we're going to do, and the best way to do it is back to these sheets, the boring stuff, doing the numbers, doing what makes sense, right? And working with somebody you trust. If you don't trust me, then fine. You don't ain't gonna hurt my feelings. Just be honest, right? Let's figure that out, and we can make this work. So we're there to do that. We appreciate those clients that have trusted us with that. We're glad you're here. We hope that we can earn the trust of many more.